Well, howdy, howdy, howdy. Nearly Senior Citizen here. Greetings, boys and girls, and welcome to this. One bad thing about starting an hour and a half after I wake up, which is the system I've started to do. Instead of having a dedicated set time to start recording, because that's what I'd been doing, but then I hadn't been giving myself time enough to wake up, because I've been waking up later and later to make sure I actually sleep. And so I get up at 7 o'clock, roughly now. I wake up and it's close to 7, so I get up and then I come in here and I wake up for the next hour and a half, then I start recording. One of the problems with that, because I'm actually sleeping sometimes. This last week I've had terrible insomnia, and I'll get back to that. But one of the problems with that, because I'm sleeping, is when I get in here, my little guys, my little furry hamatrons here, they're all asleep. And so I don't want to wake them up. And I feel bad if I do now. Maybe back when, in fact I know, back when I first had hamsters, like back in 1989, I would have delighted in waking them up and going, ah ha ha, you belong to me, you sleep when I let you. But now, at the ripe old age of 56, knowing that I've got to keep them alive and happy as best I can, I don't even want to wake them up if they're sleeping. Because they have their lives, they have their own desires, needs, and wants. They have health issues if you stress them out. And since they're my responsibility, yeah, I don't want to wake them up. I try not to. In fact, every time I showed my hamsters off before, it was just when I was awake, they were awake, or I would just scrabble around and make noise outside until they came out. But it's like, now I don't even like to wake them up. It's not their fault that I'm coming in here later. So if they're awake when I record, I promise more hamsters again. I will always show off my hamsters. I love my little guys. I'm proud of the little beasts, and they're awesome. I just don't want to wake them up, because right here I still have little Saber / Cream down here next to me until the bin cage shows up. IKEA sent off a replacement set. At least I hope it's a replacement set, not just the bin or not just the lid. And it's supposed to arrive by the 30th by FedEx, so that's good. And I'll have a good solid thing. But Gojira / Mellow is right down here, and at the moment I've got Janus / Thigmo and Cookie / Dr. Snurf, both in the cages against the wall. So everyone's happy and fine. It's just when I get in here at 7 o'clock, sometimes like little Gojira is awake and scrabbling around. But by the time I'm awake and dressed and doing things, they've all settled down to go to sleep. Because after all, the time for sleepies, waking time for hamsters is generally at dusk, at dawn. And if I'm showing up here after dawn, then they're already asleep. I'm sorry. So like I said, I feel bad that I don't have a little hamatron to show off, but I also I've come to respect them. Well, all critters, not just hamsters. I've come to respect them far too much to just wake them up. So, thumbs up for that. Now, there was a couple things that I wanted to talk about. Silly things at first. Number one, I was going through some of the stuffed animals here and realizing how much stuff I actually had on that shelf underneath all the stuffed animals. I'm a goofy individual. It must be, I can't even say why. I like stuffed animals, and so I have a small collection of stuffed animals. Some of them are out, some of them are on the shelves, and I still have another box, but I don't know where I got this walrus. I mean, it's not a nice looking thing, is it? It's kind of ugly, but it's cute because it's so ugly. It's a nice walrus. I'm not going to show off many of these things. I'm just showing them because I discovered them again in there. And with my memory, I am out of sight, out of mind. I forget I have a sister. I always forget I have 3 stepsisters. I tell people I'm an only child, and then it's like, oh wait, someone has to say, no, don't you have a sister? And it's like, oh yeah, I gotta say, yeah. So, joyous memory. I think this frog belonged to my wife. I think. She had a small collection of stuffed animals herself, and I think this frog was hers. I'm not sure, and I've showed this in many a video before, I'm not sure where this pig came from, and it's gotten really scruffy looking. And it's not just a pig, I mean, it's a pig puppet. You put your hand inside. Oh, huge lag spike there. I can only hope that this is recording properly. But you go, hi, I'm a dirty pig. And I can't do the whole ventriloquy thing. I'm not like Jeff Dunham, yeah. Where I have never seen anyone be as good at ventriloquist as him. You take a look at the old ventriloquists of yore, and some of them, even like the guy that did the whole Charlie McCarthy thing, you could watch his mouth move. You can't with Jeff Dunham. I have never seen his mouth move. I have rarely even seen his throat move. I do not know how he can do it so well, but he does, and I am in awe of that. But it's like, there's my piggy puppet, and it's a fun piggy puppet. I'd sort of like to wash it, but if I put it in the washer, I think it's just gonna get destroyed. But it's kind of scruffy looking now, and dirty looking, and stained, but it's a good pig. I just need to find another pig puppet. I do not know where I found this pig puppet. I honestly have no idea where it came from. Zero. It wasn't my wife's. So, and I, as much as I have all of these various little things, this is one of the Beanie Babies that my parents had sent me. My stepfather used to collect Beanie Babies, and so they sent me a lot of the overflow Beanie Babies, and I think that's when I started collecting stuffed animals, because I hadn't done it before. Boy, another lag spike. Man, I hate my system. I need to reinstall again. But, so I've got a whole bunch of these Beanie Baby things. They're fun. I mean, stuffed animals, they're nothing, but they're fun. I don't put them anywhere but like here or in boxes. So, thumbs up for that. Boy, the insomnia though. Ay, ay, ay. I know why I had difficulty sleeping last night. I've been trying to wean myself off of my methadone. Because I was on 45 milligrams of methadone daily, which is effectively 90 milligrams of morphine daily. Now I'm on 5 milligrams of methadone daily, 10 milligrams of ever getting that mixed up with a methagram thing, which is goofy. But now I'm on 5 milligrams of methadone, 10 milligrams of morphine. So I try my best to cut that now, so I don't take, what I do is I split my tablet in half, and I take 2.5 milligrams in the morning, and then 2.5 milligrams at night. Now they only last for 8 hours maximum, and it's only 2.5 milligrams, so it's not a lot. And by the time I take my second tablet, it's like 4 hours at the very shortest, since the last one is worn off. Mainly what I do, my second dose of methadone is to stave off withdrawal after I've gotten the initial pain control of the first burst. So to get down to nothing, that means I have to take one a day just as a matter of course. When I'm trying to sleep on those nights, like last night, I know last night's insomnia was because of that. The previous 2 nights, well, 3 nights now, I have no ideas if I took methadone before I went to bed or not. Because generally if I go walkies, what I do is I take my second dose and then I go walkies. So it should still be working when I go to bed, just 5 hours after I take it, but it's just been hurting so much. I don't know. And by it, of course, I mean my body. Sorry about that. So last night I did not take a 2.5 milligram dosage of methadone, and it was harder getting to sleep. I hurt more. My legs were really hurting, but finally I was able to fall asleep. And then I actually mostly stayed asleep. Had to get up once to go to the bathroom. Of course, I've talked about that before. Your kidneys work better, more efficiently when you're horizontal because it doesn't have to fight gravity and all that. Your body is flat and your system works much more efficiently. When your system works much more efficiently, well, guess what? You've got your kidneys working better and filling up your bladder better. So woke up for that and then managed to fall back asleep again pretty easily, and then woke up at around 7 o'clock from pain. So a little bit of insomnia, but not too terrible. It was about 6 hours of bedtime, and of those 6 hours I slept for about 4, which is much better than it used to be, where I'd go to bed at like 2 o'clock and I'd be up at 4:30 from pain, and out of those 2.5 hours, sleep maybe 45 minutes, an hour, hour and a half. So I'm doing much better now. Part of that, of course, is just because of cannabis use. Pain control. Awesome stuff. Also, I did want to show this one off. I bought this somewhat recently. I say somewhat because when I go walking, I'm kind of hesitant to smoke the joints that I buy because, you know, you smoke them and they go away. So, but this was really cool. I like this label where they're naturally grown cannabis flower joint, orange blossom falcana. And it's like, that's a pretty awesome label there. And it's just, they're just joints. So it's really nothing special. But the funny thing, of course, well, not of course, but there's a funny thing, but they call these plastic tubes you put these in. That's a doob tube. D-O-O-B. Short, of course, for doobie. There's a doob tube. It's, of course, terribly wasteful. And while they do have little recycled things on the bottom of them, hopefully people actually do recycle. And I know a lot of places that sell stuff do have recycled your doob tube things, so you come in, you just drop these into their little bins, and then they recycle them. So I just wanted to show that off because it was, I like the label. The label's really cool. I'm going to show that again because it's a cool falcon on there. Ooh. Just as a real quick one, I'm going to try and do this real quick. People want to know periodically about my USAF time, my United States Air Force time, since I am a U.S. vet. And yeah, 1982 was when I went in, and 1986 is when I came out. So I wasn't in for very long, and I was in during a period of no conflict. So even though there was always stuff going on, there was the whole Falkland Islands thing going on when I went in. You have to look that up on Wikipedia. When there was almost war between Britain and Argentina over the Falkland Islands when I was going into the Air Force. So thumbs up over that. I think it was Argentina. I can't remember. It was some South American nation. But yeah, I went in 1982, and then I was dishonorably discharged in 1986. I had been going to be in a bit longer, but during that time, all of the services were just choked with too many people. There was no way to go up in ranks. It used to be you could make from E1 to E6 in about 4 years, and if you couldn't do that, then there was something wrong, so they knew they needed to not re-up your enlistment. By the time I was in, if you made E6 in 15 years, then you were doing good. And you had multiple chances to get it because there were just so many people. And so there was no upward mobility. And so there, in 1986, the Graham-Rudman Act, they went and cut everybody that had a little bit of time left but wasn't sure they were going to re-up out. And they just, boom, they chopped the services by huge amounts. I took a look and said, you know what, I'm going to get out too. So I guess tomorrow, since we're at 14 minutes and 35 seconds, I'm going to talk more about actually what happened inside of my Air Force time. Because I spent 1 year in Hurlburt Field, Florida, on the Egun Air Force Base campus at Fort Walton Beach on the Panhandle of Florida. Then I spent 2 years over in Zembach Air Base in Germany, which is knit really close to the German-France border, real close to Trier, which was celebrating its 2000th year as a city when we were at Zembach. I say we because it was all of my fellow people that were serving there. And then I spent another year in Florida at Homestead AFB, 30 miles south of Florida. I don't know if they've rebuilt it, but when Hurricane Andrew went through in 1992, razed it down to the foundations. There was nothing left, but you could tell where buildings were because there were some bricks left to show where buildings once were. Thumbs up for that. Oh, and now I'm going to go through and thank 20 to 25 people for having left me a comment on my community tab. Well, just on my comments, just having left me comments. I'm opening the community tab. Past 24 hours worth to thank 20 to 25 people. It is arranged because even though I count American Sign Language on the fingers of this hand with my depression, fibro, brain damage from alcoholism, I'm lucky that if I can remember my own name most of the time. If I mispronounce a username, no disrespect is intended. I'm an American English speaker. We're just not good at that sort of thing. We're good at arrogance, though. We're really good at that. And I'm not reading the comments right now. I'm just thanking you for having left a comment. So good comment, bad comment, indifferent comment. The fact is you left a comment. I'm going to go through and read as many as I can. Thumbs up each one I do. Answer as many as I can afterward when I'm not recording. But for right now, just thank you for having left a comment. Calling on my Chrome. Arthur Aram, Artur Aram, thank you very, very much. And Fortnite Gameplays, greatly appreciated. Coochman, thumbs up and thank you. The Man Games, greatly appreciated. Devoured Cryptify, thumbs up and thank you. Anthony Rayos, thumbs up and thank you. Matthew Burridge, greatly appreciated. XXX Tentacion, well, thank you very much. And Nikolai Please, greatly appreciated. Noah Drums, thumbs up and thank you. Miguel Zamora, thumbs up and thank you. Pandora NYC, good to see you in the comments. Greatly appreciated. The One Guy, thumbs up and thank you. Thomas S, greatly appreciated. Rads YT, thumbs up and thank you. FE, thumbs up, greatly appreciated. Tall Dude 123, always good to see you in the comments. And Tundra Keeper, thumbs up and thank you. LR, thumbs up. Nat Wonderwall, greatly appreciated. Isaac Delaney, thumbs up and thank you. And then we also have Sarah N. Brandon, greatly appreciated. And Charlie Jones, thumbs up and thank you. JDM, greatly appreciated. And last but not least, Conspo Lopez, thumbs up and thank you. Each and every one of you. You get me out of my head, into the world, dealing with actual people. Thumbs up and thank you for that. I also have down below a whole bunch of various links like Twitter, Facebook, GoFundMe, Patreon.com, NearlySeniorCitizen.com, a very awesome website / blog done up by Brian Glenn. Very professional. Thumbs up and thank you. Very soon I'm going to write in that. I just haven't yet. I've got stuff in my head. I just haven't gotten there yet. If you could donate to my GoFundMe campaign or become a Patreon.com patron like one of these beautiful and awesome people, that would be, yes, beautiful and awesome. But if you cannot donate or you simply do not donate, I do take all good wishes and deposit them in the bank of my heart where I draw interest, so thank you very much. If you could toss me a like, I do appreciate all the positive validation I get from my existence. Definitely a thumbs up. If you could toss me, no. If you could subscribe to the channel, that would be very, very cool. Greatly appreciated. I would understand if you don't want to, but if you are down with it, I will do my very best to keep you entertained from now until the literal end of time. Which, since I am just a brain in a jar and there is no universe outside the confines of my jar, that's hopefully going to be longer than next Tuesday. I'm not really a brain in a jar. I'm two brains in one jar. I don't even know what that would be like. That was a weird thing to say. Just moderately weird. I mean, two brains in a jar working in parallel or serial to make one personality. Huh. Frankenstein's serial monster. Something like that, anyway. Or parallel monster. What would that be like, having brains run in parallel? Anyway, though. Oh, itchy, itchy, itchy. Today is the weekend, but I haven't had a chance to get a reaction done all week, so I'm hopefully going to get a reaction done today. Hopefully a game video. So you take care. Have a great day today. I will see you on the flip side, my friend, and that is very good. So you take care.